Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Impact Loop. Today, we're very honored to have Rachel Berkowitz, who is an artist, may I say artist extraordinaire.
Thank you.
Joining us to talk about her life, her work, and we're really excited to learn about what you do, why you do it, and how you're impacting the community with your craft.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So Rachel, we introduced you as an artist, but I think you're much more than just a typical artist. Would you mind sharing, what is it that you do and why you do it, how you got started?
So I've always done art from way back when, probably from the age that I could write, honestly. And I grew up in London. So my parents would take me to museums every single weekend because it was always raining and they didn't know what else to do with me. So I grew to become kind of obsessed with art and art history at first. So I would carry around sketchbooks, I would do workshops, and I loved art in general. I loved theater and everything that kind of encompasses art. I love fashion, photography, kind of everything creative that goes together. So I grew up with lots of different kind of creative outlets. But right now, I would say I'm focusing mostly on painting right now. That's kind of my field that I am. I have to be focused because there's so many different amazing things that I'm so excited about that if I'm not focused, I can't really dive in deep to something. So I went to UCLA for painting and photography back in 2012, and I know you also went to UCLA.
Without dating myself, I was there before you.
So when I graduated, that was the first time I came to LA. And then when I graduated, I stayed in Los Angeles, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to have found different kinds of work, kind of creative work. I was working with jewelry and photography and a bunch of different things before focusing on painting kind of full time now. So
I'm not an expert on painting, but I understand there's different types of artwork and paintings and different colors and can you tell us what you prefer and what is it why and ultimately when you're creating these pieces of art, what is the thought process? What is behind the scenes that goes on before you even start, and how you envision the final product and how it comes out?
Amazing question. I could probably talk to you for hours about that, but I'll make it short. I always have a kind of common theme that I'm working on, whether it be through painting or photography, or kind of I write as well. So it's almost everything encompassing a theme, and then from there I create work within that body of work. So right now I am focusing on the theme of celebration. Celebration, love, and everything that kind of falls within that. So my favorite thing to do is very large oil paintings, which are time consuming. And
how large are we talking about?
Honestly, as large as I can. As large as physically possible in the spaces that I have. So if I could paint bigger than what I currently have, I would. I love being encompassed from the work, and for me, abstraction is all about a feeling that you get before you kind of learn about the artist or the piece or anything. I want you to just be hit as an audience with a feeling. So right now, my feelings are I'm trying to gather people together in forms of celebration. So even though it's abstract, I kind of want you to have this sense of a party that's just happened or a party that's happening. I want you to feel movement, and I want you to feel drawn in, whether it be from the colors, from the movement, from the shapes, from the stillness. Maybe there's a stillness in it that kind of makes you think about something in your life. So I love that abstract art makes you have a feeling rather than gives you a literal meaning, if that makes sense. So for figurative work, you look at something, you know what it is.
So is the art that you're making, is it speaking to a specific audience, or is it really for anyone? Do you go, what is the thought process? I'm curious, who is it for?
So it depends what I'm making, actually. So if it's my own paintings and my own body of work, it's for everybody. I really want to make art that's accessible for people, and that people don't feel like the kind of pretentiousness that they might feel when they go to an art museum, where they don't feel like they don't understand, or if an everyday person feels like a type of way about modern art. I never want that to be a barrier. So I want my artwork to be for everybody and for like a universal experience. And because I make abstract art, I feel like that is my access point, kind of. I think my work is quite feminine in a way, because I am a female, and I feel like intrinsically anything I do is always going to reflect like who I am. But I've been making a lot of artwork for couples, for weddings, for Jewish weddings. And so that is for them. So it's like, here's my touch, but this is about your love. So anything that's a commission is totally for them and no one else. So it's like I have two sides of what I do. I do artwork for everybody when it's my own. And then I do very specific commissions for people who have like their whole stories that they tell me. I mean, they tell me their stories of their love. We incorporate symbols. It might be a ketubah, it might be a chuppah, it might be a challah cover, whatever they want. And then that's for them, and then they know what everything means. And maybe to the average person, it just looks like, oh, a pretty drawing. I see a tree, or I see this. But to them, they're like, no, this is the tree that I got proposed under.
Right.
Or this is the fountain that like we fell in love next to. So there's all these symbols that they tell me, and it's amazing because I get to like experience that as an artist, and then create them this piece that they'll have for the rest of their lives.
It's so amazing because actually just this past week I made coming up on a 8-year anniversary with my wife.
Oh, congrats!
And thank you. and there's a couple things that going back to our wedding that we actually still utilize on a pretty routine basis. One is our Kiddush cup, and the other one, interestingly enough, it's like the challah board.
Oh, beautiful.
And someone gifted us, I don't even know who it was, but it was gifted us as a custom-made challah board, and has our name on it, and it's like a very unique...
Is it engraved?
It's engraved into
wow,
and it's
that's
8
so cool.
years, and we use it every week.
Every week, yeah.
And it still like has a real meaning, and it kind of brings us back to that. So I definitely resonate with what you're saying, that it's custom for them, and it's something that they can cherish and live through, for however long they are together.
Yeah.
God willing, to 120. And so it's really special. So it's have you been doing this for a while now? Like, I guess
I haven't been doing it for a long time. I've been doing commissions for a while. So I did more things like someone would be getting married and they wanted me to do a painting of their bouquet, let's say. So something that's very present, that I kind of immortalize, that lasts forever. And then that kind of turned into a friend saying, hey, can you do my chuppah for my wedding? And I did one, and then that just led to more things. So I didn't have an intent to do this, but I love it. And it's something that brings me a lot of joy, because it's a way for me to connect with people who are really happy. And I think that for me, my artwork is about celebration and joy, and remembering to celebrate moments. And it doesn't have to be like special occasions. It can just be celebrating love, So for me, it's an amazing thing that I've kind of like been put into.
Right.
And then once the chuppah happened, someone else was like, oh, do you think you could do my ketubah? And then someone saw their ketubah. Oh, can you do mine? So it just kind of flowed. And now I'm in this like flow of doing all these beautiful love artworks for people.
It's amazing.
So it's
I know
really amazing.
I apologize for putting you on the spot. I know you're engaged, so you're getting ready to be you're a kala. And are you working on a specific custom piece for your own wedding?
I will be. Once I do everybody else's. Yes. And Greg is also an artist himself.
Right.
So we definitely are going to have a wedding that's like everything is going to be custom to our love. And I think I'm really excited about that as well.
So if someone's just wondering, where would they see your your pieces, your art? Like, how would someone be able to acquire some of your art? Like, what is?
Yeah, I mean,
where would they look? How would
they can literally type in my name on Google. Just Google Rachel Berkowitz art, and you'll find my social links on Instagram, TikTok. I've had a lot of success on TikTok, which is interesting, but it kind of makes sense when I think about it now, because it's like everybody is a little bit younger, I think, on TikTok than like Facebook, for example.
Right.
So Facebook, there's appreciation from people who go, oh, I wish I had known you 40 years ago when I did my Ketubah. And then TikTok, it's like younger people who are about to get married and they see my stuff and they contact me. So it's a lot of really nice random connections, or it might be through a friend. I've had a few friends who have recommended me because someone they know was looking for a chuppah or a ketubah. So it really depends on, could be anything, they'll find me, which is great.
So I'm curious, like, so obviously you're doing all sorts of, you're an artist doing different things. You're focusing mainly on paintings now.
Yeah.
Is that, like, if you had to choose in terms of something that gives you the most meaning, the most, you know, personal purpose, of all the things that you've done so far, and I'm sure there's going to be more things that you'll do and maybe new avenues to explore. But what is one, I guess, type of art that really brings you joy for you?
For me, it's abstract oil painting, large scale. That's my personal joy, because I can't do anything but focus on what I'm painting in that moment, and it's kind of like a meditation for me and a dance at the same time, because it's so big. So it's like a physical and emotional and spiritual kind of, I guess I would call it a meditation that I have to be forced into. So I have to be fully present. I can't like use my phone. I can't do anything really. I can't really even communicate with people if they're like in the same room as me. Like sometimes Greg will just be in the same room, but like he's just there with me. I'm not like physically talking to him or like doing things. So it kind of forces me to be like fully present in creation. And I think with every other art form for me, there's always like a form of distraction that can happen. Whereas oil painting is so in that moment that it feels like that's my real true creation meditation.
Did you ever, I'm curious, had doubts whether this is something you could really make a career out of? Obviously, there's there's a lot of artists out there and all sorts of innovations, but I imagine it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's really hard. And I think more people have doubted me before I was doing it than me myself. And I think it's important for you to not listen to anybody and really be confident in what you're doing. And I think I do believe that every kind of art form or anything in the world actually takes practice and takes time and takes learning. And I look at some of my old artwork and I'm like, ugh, that's terrible. But like someone bought it or someone appreciated it. And during my journey, like I see things and I realize things about myself, and I feel like I'm always learning. I'm never like, yes, I'm the best now, this is it. So I always doubt myself like every day, and I just have to kind of push those feelings aside and say, no, look, everything you're doing is exactly what you want to be doing. So it doesn't really matter what people think, because not everyone's going to like what you do. Like, that's art, right? That's subjective. Right. So the people that do like what you do and that do understand it and that do feel what you want them to feel, that's what matters. And you have to just kind of brush off all the other white noise and turn it all into white noise, because that doesn't, if that can impact everything you do. So it's like a switch off kind of. And that I think is the hardest thing, because not everyone can be confident 100% of the time. Like sometimes I'll make something and I'll just have a terrible day because I just hate what I'm doing. I think it's terrible. And then the next day I'll look at it with fresh eyes and I'll be in a different mindset, and I'll be able to kind of focus my energy a bit differently. So
what is that, I guess, if you had, I assume like in those moments of doubt where you're not sure, there's cloudiness, like what do you turn to kind of to draw back the inspiration? Maybe maybe if it's, going back to those early memories of as a child going to museums.
That's exactly what I do. So if I try and physically go somewhere. So whether it's something that brings me inspiration, it could be a museum, it could be reading a book that I love, like an art book maybe, or it could be going into nature or something that I feel like brings me back to that focus of the like beginning inspiration. For me, it's always traveling as well. Like whenever I go somewhere new, I feel like totally inspired in all ways. And I take pictures, I write things down, I try and like capture everything so that it's inside me, ready so that when I'm ready to create, I can create. And I never have like a mental block in I know people have like artist blocks. Mm-hmm. I've literally never had that. And I've never been bored. I'm not like a bored person. So I think that's sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not good. Because I feel like sometimes I can't like completely switch off and like totally relax and think about nothingness.
Right.
When I think that does help at some point. So that's something I have to like work on as a person. So a lot of my artwork previously was about that, about, taking that time and self-care and just chilling, like being present with yourself and doing nothing and having like a reset is something that I need to focus more on. So, yeah.
So if you had to, I guess, kind of look forward and as you're building your brand and solidifying your kind of place in the art world, like what are you hoping to accomplish? What do you want Rachel Berkowitz art to be known for, to stand for?
That's a great question too. Amazing question. I actually think that what I do right now, I'm very happy with, and I want to just do it in a larger scale. So I teach like children who can't afford art education. Oh. And I wish I had like more supplies and more money and more things like that to do that on a larger scale. I love that I'm able to inspire people. I teach adults as well. And I would love for my artwork to be bigger and on bigger platforms. And I like the fact that I hope people can associate my artwork with like a joy, because I feel like there aren't that many artists that at least I can think about that are like in the present day that are making art about a feeling of celebration and joy. And I hope that people can remember that with me.
Bringing more light.
Bringing more light, yeah. Whether it's through an experience, like I also do a lot of performance art as well. Sorry, I'm like going off topic, but
no.
I do like I paint live painting. So I'll paint on a dress and someone will be singing. And I love being able to create experiences that force people to be in the present and force people to feel a joy and feel a sensation that they wouldn't otherwise feel. So it's doing all those things. It's inspiring, it's creating joy, but on a bigger level, and that's my goal. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
So I guess in terms of the impact that you want to create, obviously, whether you're teaching or you're inspiring, how important do you think, being part of a community, or maybe leveraging the community, to help you? Like, how do you think? Is that something that you think is important? Is that something you're trying to leverage to grow your business?
Yeah, 100%. I think that any kind of impact in any community is 100% important. Everybody needs each other. I mean, that's what like my art is about. It's about like finding a community and celebrating and having those connections with humans that I think make you live longer and make you enjoy your life, and enjoying your life makes you live longer. So it's all these things that communities bring that I think are essential for living. So for me, yes, like I think being part of any community and impacting any community is the biggest thing, the most important thing.
How was the Los Angeles in the whole? Is that something that you've been able to tap into? Different parts to
yeah, I think people are very receptive to creativity here. I've taught art classes to a range of different kinds of communities, from very young children to much older generations. I've been to synagogues, I've been to people's homes, I've been to parties, kind of every situation that someone might need someone creative for, I'm into, because that's a part of my work, essentially, for me. So, for example, I did a watercolor class with the older generation in a synagogue, and it was very healing for them, because they hadn't, some of the people told me they hadn't like picked up a paintbrush in 40-50 years. Wow. So it felt very rewarding, and I let them keep the materials, so hopefully they'll go home and they'll pick up the materials again. And as long as I kind of give people a way of using creativity, something that they can continue with, that's really important to me as well. Yeah.
So do you come from, you're you're very talented, but very artistic, but do you come from a family of artists?
No.
So
My parents are very academic, actually. My dad is a historian. He's actually a Jewish historian. Wow. He is a professor, and he writes books. He writes books sometimes about some creative things. He just wrote a book about Jews in Hollywood, and he wrote a book about photography. My great-great-grandfather was the photographer to the Tsar.
Hey, Rachel.
wow.
Hey, Rachel, tell us, what is that book called, if anyone in case wants to buy Michael Berkowitz's book?
The Hollywood Film Court? Is that
Yeah, the Hollywood Film Court.
Is that the whole title?
I think so, yeah.
I'm saying it right.
I'll look it up. You guys keep talking. I'll be back.
Greg, can you look it up? Greg is our producer in the back. So in
I'll
case
take care of that,
wondering,
no problem.
I think it's the Hollywood Film Court, but I want to make sure. But his name is Michael Berkowitz, and he's kind of a big deal, but a big deal not for art. So, and my mom is an academic as well. She works in healthcare policy. Wow. So both of them, I think they both wanted me to be exposed to museums for the history of it, but I don't think that they intended for me to want to create art myself. But now they accept it.
Right.
But I think that wasn't like an intention. They didn't like try and make me become an artist. I went to a very academic Christian school.
So when did you start, I guess, to really think, okay, this is something I want to make a part of my career. I really want to do this for a living versus just like a hobby.
I think it was when I was in my academic school, high school. It was like a high school, and we had art class that we had to do. And I remember the teacher, it was a sculpture class, and I was obsessed with sculpture. That's actually what I applied for UCLA with, was sculpture, and I switched. But she looked at me and she was like, if you're not an artist, I quit. And I said, oh, like my parents would never let me study art at university. And she said, it doesn't matter, I'll talk to them. And I remember she spoke to them, and she was so passionate about telling them that I should be an artist. Wow. And it made me think, oh, like maybe that is what I want to do, because that's what brings me the most joy. Like, I love English, I love like many things, but for me, like that was what I felt was right. You know, I could make art forever and never feel bored and never feel sad. It was just like the perfect outlet for me. And so I think that's why I do like teaching, because for me, it's like it makes a difference with people. It actually makes a difference. Even if I only impact one child and that child ends up studying something creative because I told her, that's a great drawing, you should really like do more of this. You never know like how people can change and how that can impact someone's life. So for me, it was my teachers.
So I guess it's fair to say your business is not just about creating art, but it's really just teaching art. So it's Rachel Berkowitz Art School is also part of the resume.
Yeah, it used to be like 100% of the time teaching, but then I never got any time to create. And now I think it's more of a good balance where I feel like I teach sometimes, like I taught a class last night, but maybe like 1 or 2 classes a month as opposed to a class every day. So right. I'm more of a balance now between my teaching and
quick
creating.
Update. The book's official title is, excuse me, Hollywood's Unofficial Film Corps, American Jewish Movie Makers and the War Effort by Michael Berkowitz.
It's a long title.
And where is that book available? Is it Amazon?
On Amazon and a number of bookstores, actually. He just told us that it's going to be available in more bookstores.
Yeah, and it's in libraries now too. He made it.
So everyone should buy a copy.
They should. It's a really good book. It's about things that you can't find online, because he does real like history studying archives. So he dives deep and he finds out information that no one's heard of before, and then he writes his books. So it's a real history. He's a real historian. It's pretty cool.
It is an artistic or academic family. I mean,
it is. I think it's a creative pursuit. It's not like fine art, but he is creative in the way that he dives deep in his studies. So yeah. Yeah.
So if we had to leave the audience with one kind of message of impact or inspiration that you're trying to convey, what would it be? Maybe you can look at the camera and tell.
I think what I want to leave people with is you're never too old to make art, and there's always art to be made, no matter how you feel about it, no matter how you feel inside, no matter how you feel about yourself. And art forms are in every way possible. So I have friends who say they're not creative, and then they know how to make their room look good. Mm-hmm. And that's art. So I think that accessibility and creativity is something that I believe strongly in. And if I can help you find that, I've done my job.
And if they can't do art, then they can just get art from you.
They can buy art too. And appreciating art is also a form of art, I think.
Rachel, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And for really telling us about your business, the why behind it. Hopefully people found some inspiration, some insightfulness, and this is what this podcast is really about. Bringing stories, being impact drivers in the business world, the nonprofit world, in the community, who make an impact, who inspire, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the next episode of the Impact Loop. Stay tuned.